Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It took a little bit of prep, but we are here. We are live, and I'm realizing that I need to do not that. We are completely skewed because my, give me a second here. I thought we were good to go, but obviously we're not. The issue here is the big black border you're seeing that I'll work on fixing is, I have a 1440p monitor and the stream's in 1080, and so I will work on fixing that. But we do have draft underway. It's our third quarterfinal matchup, and I'm joined alongside David, Mr. DLD27 himself, and we saw you on stream earlier today.
Well, we ended up losing, which was heartbreaking, but we had a banger series. So I hope this series can live up to it, just so we can just see the greatness which is SLOLCS.
That's what we're hoping for here. It was a very fun, very long 20 game 3 series that we saw, and I think the average game length in that series had to be on the upper 30s. Some banger games for sure. As okay, that has not been fixed. Here's what we're gonna do instead. I'll work on this, so we're gonna go ahead and flip on over to draft while I get things situated. I know this is a screen that is working officially, and we can get underway here for the draft, which is always one of my most favorite parts, and seeing the strategies that come out, what they're looking for. Conglomerate of Mewing are coming as the higher seed, and it's the first time we're seeing today a blue side be opted for early.
It makes sense. Our strategy versus LBJ was very simple. It was ban Twitch, pick Ezreal. Because while their ADC can play other things, those two choices are just a strength. But they're going nothing. They're banning out the sub mid laners Vex, which makes sense. Kind of a one trick there. Then they're focusing on the top laner and a jungler, which Nocturne you also have to ban against this team because they have a Nocturne one trick on LBJ.
Yeah, it is worth noting, you just brought it up, the Kakin will eat the Vex ban on the other side. Both mid laners are subbed out here, I believe. We have confirmed this. It's Kakin playing on the side of LeBron James lovers, and on the opposite end for Conglomerate of Mewing, it is Hedo. And we've seen him talk about it time and time again in the general chat. His Vel'Koz has gone through here, David.
That's what I actually first thought of, but it turns out it's just LBJ's mid and support. Calm is full strength, full here, ready to rumble, I believe.
Okay, so Calm teasing Hedo on the opposite end then by letting Vel'Koz through and then first picking it for themselves.
Well, this matchup's very interesting because both ADCs are the second highest ranked players on these teams. So, while LBJ's big master player is top lane, while Calm's big master player is in the jungle, both these ADCs are emerald level players, and that matchup is going to be a huge reason whatever team takes the win. It's going to be all bot lane.
It seems like there's inverse theories here coming through bot lane as well, as you're indicating the real stress of importance that lane has, with it potentially swinging either way with the caliber of players that are there. But the Pyke and the the Pyke and the Vayne, so in my mind, clash against what they're looking to accomplish. And on the opposite end, Vel'Koz, Draven, like, if you flip the supports, it seems like it's a perfect duo for both sides. But obviously, different strategies these teams are coming in with.
Yes, and I do agree with you. I have to point out, if you are a gold player and you are into a Masters level player, there's not many better top laners to pick than Mundo. You rush Warmonks, triple Giants belt into Warmonks, you farm with Q, and you are not killable. And that's just the perfect kind of neutralizing lead. So the first 3 picks actually give advantage to Calm so far.
Yeah, I do like the Mundo pick as well. It's just so safe. It's guaranteed value no matter what. The scaling on that champ is unheard of compared to a lot of other champs in the game. The last few bans coming out, and they're jungle heavy. There will be a Kiana ban on one
side. I would
side.
Another jungle ban here. But
no, it's a Riven.
The Riven is Arch Tempered's main, but it did not look too good in LBJ's last game on stream.
No, I mean, it was into a Malphite, which there was some chatter about that in the chat afterwards. It's Riven just can't do that much damage, especially to a Malphite. And as long as that's not the case, I mean, Mundo should struggle more into it. And that's why they are going to receive the ban, because Mundo's pure health and not pure armor, not going to just swallow everything Riven is throwing at it. The Skarner pick I like a lot for LeBron James lovers. That'll be the prio, and they'll hold the counter pick for their top laner, which makes sense given that it is Arch-Tempered piloting it on the other side.
If you want a big brain prediction, there's a non-zero chance that's a Vayne top.
True,
well, I don't think
actually.
it is.
Wasn't there a Vayne picked in the game they had on stream yesterday too, for their team? Because I thought it could have been a Vayne top.
It was. They picked ADC Vayne as well. I like the Syndra. Gives range. Can very much outrange Annie. It's a pretty safe pick overall. And jungle, what is Hunter Blazing Space Pup going to pick in the jungle? And it's Kayn. And with 3 of these champs so far, I guess blue Kayn. But I don't know. Red Kayn's super good in the Skarner, so it's kind of tough.
Yeah, it just depends on what they're going for.
This is a champion I think they should have banned.
100%. Arch-Temper's Yone. Renowned. Oh, pivot last second Aatrox? Is it locked in officially? It will be. Okay.
Aatrox is the pick.
With the Aatrox pick, maybe there's an argument to be made for Blue Kayn, but I think, or for Red Kayn, sorry, but I think Blue Kayn just has so much more value into Pyke, Vayne, and Annie, and you allow your Draven and Vel'Koz to deal with the Skarner and Aatrox.
Yeah, the Aatrox is interesting. It can 1v9, and it has a very nice time into Mundo, but it's basically like Mundo's not playing with a passive. 3 knockups is just too much to deal with.
True. Yeah. It'll be tricky. I think there's... to be honest, I really like both comps. I think they accomplish it well. The engage on the side of Conglomerate Mewing is a bit harder to come by. It's not just as easy as a Skarner ult or a Pyke Bone Skewer. But, there is a lot of tankiness with Mundo just running around, especially if he's allowed to scale up to level 16 and get that empowered ultimate. It will be interesting to see how Calm play this. They are coming in as a higher seed. They've gone to pick their side. It's a game that they would expect to win, but LeBron James lovers, I know they have some tricks up their sleeve in order to maneuver their way and maybe steal a game that they shouldn't.
And I'd agree, especially because Calm's draft has 2 incredibly volatile champions. It's about Kayn getting his form early, and Draven's cash out. A Draven getting the first a kill before dying with 50 CS is a totally different beast than a Draven dying without being able to cash out.
True. That is 100% the case. They are officially in draft and selecting their appropriate champions, and I'm going to quickly jump back over here to try to fix everything that was not fixed before I throw us over to Cams. That is my error in doing so. But the draft is very interesting, and the Vayne late game should be spooky, but the Syndra getting true damage at a certain point should be dangerous as well.
Very true. Now, let me know when you're done fixing this, because I sent you a couple links, and I'm going to want to show some crazy stats.
Okay. I will,
And to preface this, I'll build it up before we get there. If you were to just look at the natural OP.GGs of these 2 teams, you'd be a little confused. Because, well, there's a lot of similar ranks. There are 2 subs who are both currently unranked on the side of LBJ. But Calm has 2 players who are ranked gold. And just at first glance, you'd think, Calm just has a better, or not better, just a higher ranked team, which could be kind of confusing. However, it wasn't always this way, especially if you look at the beginning of the tournament.
Which
started off in January.
I see where this is going.
versus the team that is now assembled as the conglomerate of mewing. Because they've turned into a bit of a powerhouse. They lost to us very early. And then they haven't done much, they haven't lost that much since then.
Okay, I think I'm situated with Cam, so I'll jump over there, then I'll pull up your streams or your links you want to look at. So we'll go here first. Still a tad bit scuffed, but we are here. We are present. Welcome in, everybody, and let me open up these links to highlight what we got going on of conglomerate of mewing, just leveling up over the course of this tournament.
It's so true. So, first, we got Rog Shots, okay? Rog Shots started off this tournament in Bronze 1, Bronze 2. And he's gone from that to now being currently Gold 2.
Jeez.
And I don't even know if we're gonna get time to go through looking at this climb.
I do have
and
it.
then Hedo
give me a
started
half second
this
and we'll be
thing
there.
Silver 3. It is now all the way up to Gold 2. So they got some solo laners that have been climbing.
Here's Hedo. I'll scroll down to show the actual graph. I want more than the last 16 games. Is there a way to do that? It won't let me go that deep. But look,
That's okay.
you see the climb itself here. Silver 3, back up, and I'll quickly flip on over to Hedo. It's an identical climb. They've made their way up, and so now, with that being official, we'll jump on over to the game. And I'm getting a black screen again. I had this issue last time. Hold on.
Okay, all you missed is the side of LBJ did a 5-man little invade through the actual bot lane, but it was caught out, and no need. But Lyra is going to sweep out that ward, plus 5 gold for the pike. That's always a good, fun way to start it.
Yeah, you are ahead if you're looking in client.
Give me your time. Give me your time I can sync. Give me your time I can sync.
I'm at 52. 53. Okay. 54.
Let me know when you're at 106.
Okay.
I am ahead.
A minute, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106 officially.
I am with you now.
Let's go. Oh? Looking for something juicy here. General Rubber Duck just walking into his red side, face-checking a waiting top end, and OB Kane walking away with the early kill. Blazing Space Pup. That's going to be a bit dangerous this early to get him on that kill, and looking mighty strong even before he has form. Just going to start in the red. Is General Rubber Duck going to check here again? Is the King going to fight him level 2?
No. If Kane's doing it, he's being a little greedy. But usually you just want to go Raptors to Raptors, but there's no help. General Rubber Duck on the Skarner.
Does have flash. Director Cam doesn't know where to go, though. Yeah, this is not an ideal start by any means. We're past 2 minutes, and General Rubber Duck not going to have a single camp, but maybe Lyra can make up for it on the back end. Finds a hook onto Hedo. Forces out the heal, but Stunna just unchecked on the Draven, putting in so much damage onto matchup.
That's the issue with Draven level 1. It's just the raw AD makes trading to him, especially extended trades like that one, so hard. And this hook might be a death sentence if they hit it, because there's a level 2 diff. You know, you gotta have to get those level up timers.
Yeah, did connect, and Blazing Space Pup walking out. Cute Anime Girl connecting on the stun onto Calkin. Blazing Space Pup going from one red side to the other, protecting from the counter invade from General Rubber Duck, and he has just finished his first camp. Nearly 3 minutes in, blue buff is finished.
We didn't let the people gamble. Oh no.
Yep, that's it. Look, there's way too much going over here on my end. The production, 5 minutes before I had to go live, was like, yeah, this game's happening. So I will make sure it comes around for game number 2 so you guys can use your dining dollars. I apologize. I know how important gambling is to everybody in this community.
Yeah, and especially with this game, with this absolute domination, I want to see Kane be on these grubs. Aatrox, especially since Aatrox is your main carry, having the grub as the hook goes on, nothing happens. Okay. Having Aatrox as your main carry, getting those grubs really allows the split push. As the Skarner gank is coming, Hedo does get hit by the E.
Kane's here to cover. Hedo getting instantly fall. Draven's weak, but matchup stepping up into the Kane. Double barriers traded. The third proc of the silver bullets will give the kill over.
Go back bot.
Yeah, we're still fighting here.
Okay,
wow.
I believe Skarner flashed.
Yes.
But I don't actually see the sidebars on my screen. I have no idea how I got rid of them. But they're not there.
Skarner has officially flashed. I am streaming if you want to tune into what mine as well, if that helps at all. Calkin just trying to hold on. Mid-roam by Lyra, but the Bone Skewer goes wide. That connects, would have surely been a kill, but Lyra gonna have to go back down bot side. Here's the important part about that fight that just happened bot lane. It ends up in favor of Conglomerates of Mewing. The difference, however, was that that kill as Archtimber actually going to get executed. It won't be a trade for kills. The matchup found the kill on Stunna before Stunna could kill him. So Draven lost all of his stacks. The mid-roam here as bots fighting at the same time gets a flash out of cute anime girl for the Skarner coming mid, and it's been a flurry of action only 5 minutes in.
Oh, yeah. But we take that solo bolo in the top lane any day of the week.
True.
Especially getting executed. That's just beautiful on the side of Arch-Tempered. Now, objectives are spawning. Drake's up. Grubs in 30 seconds. I actually don't think Drake is that important this game. But, you know, if you're Kane, you're looking for all 3 grubs. If you're Skarner, you're looking to drive by with your E, smite 1, and then just get out.
Oh, Dark Harvest stack onto the vein there by Hedo. That poke just raining down. And I will say, Rogshot's Shen wasn't banned, right? Saw that yapping about not letting Shen through. It doesn't actually matter at the end of the day. How are you not going to pick it after complaining about not getting Shen ever?
Shen got first 3'd. He's not
seen
Shen
it? Okay.
Ever. That man is locked away from Shen.
I missed that, if that was the case. They traded getting the Shen for Hedo getting the Vel'Koz.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm looking at this. And Kayn, I think, is almost confirmed to be going blue Kayn. Unless he's doing that lethality build, but with red Kayn. He's making his way.
There was a meta like that recently where you went hubris no matter what, and then just went whichever form you got first, whether it was red or blue Kayn. You didn't really care because you were still going lethality. It should be blue though.
That is very true. Just because, actually, I think there's viability to both. There's not any super bad options. And Pyke going away from bot lane, roaming up to these grubs. They should be able to confirm all 3.
Yeah, Kane's trading for the dragon bot side. Pyke actually going to look mid in the interim. Bone Skewer goes wide. The stun will come out from Calkin, though. Get a decent chunk of damage onto cute enemy girl as she grabs Tippers and says, "You take him back. I don't want your toy."
Man, if they just layered their CC first, to where Annie got the stun into Pyke hook, is the death? But Calkin's okay. Yeah, I think if they just layered their CC a little differently, cute anime girl might be dead right now.
I 100% agree with you. Lyra, I don't know if you want this. You're going to get traded out, but okay. Pyke just has so much mobility. It's okay. This is all happening while Stun and Edo are just free-firing on the bot tower. Matchups had to give 2 plates over for free. This cute anime girl grabs Tippers once more. The 3rd time she was grabbed is good stun onto Lyra. Lyra's still roaming as here comes Blazing Space, but back mid lane, dropping the smite. Lyra can't connect on the Bone Skewer. Tries to dash through. The stun connects, but not before Blazing Space Pup can grab the kill and officially go on a rampage, responsible for all 4 kills on that end. Oh, you guys are looking at black screen. That is on me. Okay, we're back.
Yeah, this Kane's a monster. Already monster. And he's just doing this so he can get form. Right? He just wants them orbs. The ult misses. That's okay. The impale does not strike his heart. And Matchup at least has to be happy. He has absorbed this XP and gotten a lot of the farm. But this Draven, now this is the adoration stacks that actually matter.
Yeah.
The first time he only had like 10, 20 CS. But he's gotten 50 more CS on top of that. This Draven is hungry for some gold.
Yeah, you see the response coming out here from LeBron James lovers sending Skarner bot side. They want to address this before it becomes an issue, before Draven can cash in. Just going to look straight up for it. Lyra holding the bone skewer, does connect. Jordan Rubber Duck's coming through, but Lyra gets popped. Nobody can do anything. We'll quickly flip mid as Calkin's getting a stun, but we don't care about this. Running back home all the way will be General Rubber Duck and Matchup, and they have to keep going because Blazing Space Pup is chasing them. Red Kane official, and he's just going to find the slow dash in. Lyra's here, and this might be a massive shutdown over to Matchup. Good spacing there, and will collect with help of the tower. Arch-Tempered doing what they can top lane as well. They'll give up the entire bot tower for this, so that will be Feats over to the side of Conglomerates of Mewing, but it is a pretty big shutdown that the Vayne's able to collect. QMA Girl can't survive Tibbers in the tower. They'll trade 1-for-1, and holy, there's been some action recently.
Oh, yeah. If you want to get an idea of how huge that shutdown was, pre that shutdown, Draven had a 1,000 gold lead. And, well, it still climbed a good amount. As Arch-Tempered with a TP flank, just picks up a beautiful kill. Great awareness for the teleport. I didn't even see it on my map.
I didn't either, and we get the beauty of spectating from above. We're in the throne. QMA Girl here, and they may actually look to dive. Yeah, Lyra opening, gets pushed away before the Bone Skewer can connect. Nobody's even opened yet. Finally, Matchup is the one tanking, but they do still connect on the dive. Matchup will live after the final tower shot, and here comes Blazing Space Pup to attempt to clean up, but he spotted on the ward on the way, and it's a solid kill. It's a good play over on the side of LeBron James lovers, and they're working their way back into this game.
Oh, yes. And it's not up. Is Lyra fine? I'm always worried when I start talking, someone's going to die. That's what it feels like. 14 kills in 11 and a half minutes. It's a bloody game. But the two Masters players showing just their dominance over the Rift. Two Darkens conquering everybody else. But while it's kind of tough, the kills are slightly favoring the Vayne, but just the sheer cash out in the plates mean Draven is ahead in gold with that collector, and BF Sword's a monster.
Calkin might be caught out of position here. Has to get the stun on Blazing Space Pump. It flashes out, but the ult from Edo just enough to connect. They're trying to trade out onto stun in the interim, but the Skarner ult doesn't connect, and there's just too much damage. Lyra does grab the execute onto Stunna. Going to use it to dash back around the Vel'Koz, piloted by Hedo, and just try to buy some time, run all the way back. Has to avoid Kane dashing through. Couldn't out mind game Hedo with that Q proc. So it ends up being, I believe, a 3-for-1 in favor of Conglomerate of Mewing. It looked good initially when they found the Draven, but couldn't get through the barrier and the heal in time.
It was honestly a bit of a miscommunication, because as Vayne used the Condemn, you saw the Impale from Skarner. So Vayne actually saved Draven from getting hit with that Skarner ult. And after that, they couldn't do anything.
Grubs.
But importantly, red side is going to get all 6 grubs. And that is huge for an Aatrox, who at this point probably just wants to split push.
Yeah, Annie's much worse on side lane than the Syndra will be. But the Aatrox is what you're playing for, and so the Prio of Grubs does make sense. Already stacking drags for an ahead team, though, on the opposite end of Conglomerates of Mewing is spooky. The idea of that concerns me just thinking about it personally.
I mean, what scares me even more is that there's a 2-level gap between supports right now. This Vel'Koz is almost 9, and this Pyke isn't even 7 yet.
Yeah, the Pyke's done a lot more roaming. Unfortunately, they haven't panned out, and Lyra might be caught out again. Syndra gonna drop the ultimate and just pop the Pyke with help from Vel'Koz. Stunner running down anybody to find what damage they can, and that's the danger, right? The burst potential of Conglomerates of Mewing is just so high. With Syndra ult, Vel'Koz ult, and Draven running at you with 2 spinning axes, that is frightening to see if you're on the opposite end.
This might be our last game that we see Vel'Koz.
True.
Had a bit of a Vel'Koz one trick, and you're seeing why. There's been some domination as he does get hooked. Nothing comes of it.
Kakin trying to get in range to drop Tibbers, but can't do so through the slow. And now we'll get some trading between both of the Masters players and Arch-Tempered and Blazing Space Pup, but they will both back off and go their own respective ways. I just realized it's a Cyclosword first purchase for the Red King.
I mean, it's got to be a good item. You're doing a lot of dashing. But I feel like Kayn versus Aatrox is kind of a skill matchup.
Yep.
Just, can you avoid the Qs if you're the Kayn? And can Aatrox hit the Qs? That's what Aatrox comes down to every time. As Vel'Koz is looking to roam top, but Arch-Tempered is just going to follow the fire trail home, get those speed boosts, and just get out of there.
He has 3 more in front of him in the bush that he's backing into. That was a perfect line of, like, I'm thinking of, like, the Cheerios scene in Monsters, Inc. with Boo just going and picking them up and collecting their treats all the way to bed. It's a little trail laid out for Arch-Tempered to follow. So we'll take a brief moment to pause and take a breather after what's been a flurry. The kill is finally starting to slow down. We were at 1 every 30 seconds or so, and that still might continue, but it's been a little bit of a hiatus as we're drifting closer to 1 every minute. And when the dust settles, it's a 5,000 gold lead over on the side of Conglomerate of Mewing.
Well, do we want to press X so we can look at it a little more? Just, we can see the individual gold values. There's 1,000 gold that the Draven has over the Vayne. But this big is huge amount of gold as they make a play onto Arch-Tempered. W hits from Kayn.
Jeez.
And that's just a kill, extending this gold lead even more. It's going to be a big comeback. But,
okay,
and he gets the solo kill right back.
Kakin setting up a little bit. It's not necessarily a tempo trap because Kyuyame Girl was the one pushing that wave past their half of the river, but still a good little bush camp there from Kakin that will connect and secure a kill, and she's holding her own here. Will be just the smallest bit of semblance of, you know, happiness they can get after losing the Herald. The cross-map play coming out here. Rogshot's trying to get the demolish, and Blaze Space Pulp says, yeah, let's commit on this tower. We have Herald, we have your demolish. Arch-Tempered's just respawning. We can get it before they can do anything.
I actually think there's a world where they could have pushed it and brought in this Herald all the way to mid.
Yeah.
But that'd be going into the heart of Arch-Tempered, so that'd be tough.
Oh, no. Oh. I thought there was a world where Lyra might have gone out, but did drop that ward. Once really immediately once they got into range, just trying to set up any form of vision to see if it was going to be LeBron James lovers who could contest this dragon, but that's not going to happen as Arch-Tempered just going to trade onto Rogshot. Can he get through the Mundo R? The movement speed plus the slow from the cleaver, just too much to overcome. And that's Soul Point officially handed over to Conglomerates of Mewing.
I feel like LeBron James lovers. Hey, they're named after someone who came back from being down 3-1. They're down a lot. Maybe they can channel their inner LeBron and come back even further.
Oh, man. Get that Cavalier energy in your pockets. Make that historical comeback. They're not even out of this game officially, and it is still a best of 3, so there is one game allowed for errors. As now cute anime girl, I'm just gonna sit patiently while collecting a little bouquet for their mother. Lyra coming through, just gonna quickly dash on. Oh, the flash prediction is perfect, but Lyra can't get out to avoid the Hedo ultimate. Gets Draven's flash, gets the kill as well. It's a solid pick. They do end up trading one for one.
There's a TP?
Oh, what is this?
Going crazy?
Or he's just gonna walk out. TP and walk out. Okay.
Do you know if we're allowed to swear? I have no idea.
You can. I mean, I assume it's okay, but I'm also not the one who has the Cal Poly Twitch channel here. That's very strange from Rog Shots just to be there and walk out. It's definitely out of place, and so was cute anime girl on the bot side getting caught. Blazing Space Pup in the middle of a 1v3, gonna ult to buy time, flash once he has a little bit of space, and just start crawling through their walls. He's in my head, as Rog Shots has just been left alone after TPing here.
Yeah, I just feel like he teleported, but oh no, oh no, oh no, ghosted, ulted, just ran away. But these past minute or two has actually been pretty good for the LeBron James lovers.
Yeah, he's going to use that ult to get through there again, as Lyra might be caught out trying to find this vision once more. Avoided the initial burst of damage from Kane, but the sweeping Vel'Koz laser beam catches up to Lyra on the pike, and has not been a fun game for this pike by any means, as General Overduck will actually find a stun and an ult onto Hedo, who got a bit overzealous, and does force the ghost out of Mundo as they're getting chased down by a matchup that true damage is absolutely chunking him, but there's just not enough follow-up. Kaken was just arriving into that play, and once Skarner burned the ult, there wasn't any more follow-up CC, but there might be another fight here as they're going to contest Blazing Space Pup on this blue. It's going to be a 4v3 temporarily.
Tippers hits too.
Oh?
It's Suda is down.
Ult onto Kaken. That Syndra ult plus the Kane one enough to burst her. Can Blazing Space Pump get out? This red Kane just so hard to kill. All of their numbers are low. They'll trade out for both Arch-Tempered and German Rubber Duck, but the bot lane coming in after resetting and respawning to help out. They will connect onto Rog Shots. Now they're looking for cute anime girl, but matchup's dead in a single ability. And now Lyra has to run away on the pike because now Hedo's back in the fight.
Man, before that Vayne died, I was thinking, what a good fight for LeBron James lovers, and now it's probably even. Man, I will say they did get more gold than they lost in that fight, especially with those pike ults. You're cashing out, getting double gold. It definitely feels nice. And that ult doesn't mean anything, especially with Malignants.
Oh?
That ult's back up in like 30 seconds.
TP flank coming out here by Arch-Tempered, looking for the Syndra. He's spot on vision. Cutie Girl has to back up the other way, but Lyra and German Rubber Duck are here to combine. It'll be a CC, and Hedo can't do a whole lot there. And honestly, yeah, that last fight ended up being relatively even, but at this point, if you're LeBron James lovers, any amount of gold that you can get is still positive. At a certain point, Conglomerates of Mewing will hit the top end. Not that I think this game gets to 6 items, but there's just such a slim percentage chance that you win in the current game state that taking those risky fights, if they do end up panning out in your favor, is Hedo a bit greedy. Oh. Barely survives through the condemn triple stack on fractions of his health bar, and did have to burn his flash. Oh no, Lyra.
Lyra might be baiting.
Oh?
Arch-Tempered is here. Blazing Space Up. The W lands, pulls.
A lot of damage. He has ult, though. Oh!
But he still might be dead.
Oh!
Takes him out of the wall. And if you're a LeBron James lovers fan, That Aatrox is your hope. He's your day. He's your night. You make fan cams of him. That is your path to victory. But Rock Shots might just get this turret. Passive gone. Q1 lands. W lands. And never mind, we're looking at matchup now. Who's dead to that Syndra ult. Rock Shots uses the ult on Mundo. And is just going to run away. That's the power of Mundo.
He's too fast. He doesn't even have finished boots. Usually it's the Swifties that come in after the Warmog's purchase, and that's going to be Soul. Because of the focus top lane, and, you know, Lyra's tried time and time again to get vision in their own blue side jungle and just has failed nearly every single time. It's a Soul sweep over to the side of Conglomerates of Mewing, and they now have Infernal Soul in their pockets.
And while it might feel, man, that's really bad, we lost Soul. For the Annie, the Vayne, and the Pyke, they can't get more one-shot than they are already getting.
True.
So what is Infernal Soul gonna do?
I mean,
it's mainly, you have to be scared of that cane damage on the Aatrox with that Infernal Soul.
Yeah, that is dangerous, but if there is a silver lining, it opens up the window to, you know, maybe coin flip Elder at a later point and get this game back in your favor. It's going to be a very early Elder spawn at 29 minutes, 30 minutes, I think, officially, as Lyra connects on the Hiddo. There's just no follow-up.
And, well, it's a tough fight. Flash does come out.
Oh?
Archtemper gets a kill. But he could not heal through it all.
Oh, no.
Draven with the double.
Oh!
Does go too far. The issue is that Kayn is too powerful. No. That's one. That's two. Lyra might survive, but I don't know if it's saving the game.
Yeah, I don't...
Now...
Oh, Rock Shots once. Lyra just gonna pop the ult, sitting inside LeBron James Lover's base, trying to connect on a Bone Skewer, can't get there. So they're just going to end up proxying mid and bot wave at the same exact time. And they'll just be content to cash in their winning team fight for a free Ruinous Audicon, get the 20% buff to epic monster kills, which them already having Soul is monstrous.
I mean, it's going to be a tough one. But any game is comebackable. Ignore the 10K up top. That 10K doesn't exist.
Yeah, just cover the entire top bar and just keep playing your game.
Except for the grubs. You don't cover the grubs. That 6 is beautiful and glorious.
Oh, man. It is, yeah, there's no... We've seen monumental throws in SLOLCS this season alone. While it's improbable, it wouldn't be the craziest comeback we've ever seen. The kill difference is just 5. That's relatively close enough. The gold is just off of, you know, map objectives more than anything. They're missing nearly every single tower, and they don't have one to show for their own as matchup gets caught out.
Oh, no.
Jerry Rubber Duck can't peel. The Skarner goes wide, and as a result of them trying to help out, they will fall. The Sterix gets popped. Archtempered's here to help out. Does pick out Stunna. Hedo immediately instantly falls, and Cute Anime Girl so far away, doesn't want to commit the TP, and Blazing Space Pup is getting zoned by Lyra, who actually commits to the Bone Skewer, then ends up falling, and Archtempered still trying to heal through all of this, but the ult going to end. And with the ult ending, it's enough for everybody to follow up. It'll be an ace over to the side of Conglomerates of Mewing, and that should, I think, be the game. It'll be close. Matchup's up in 5.
If matchup can clutch it out, it would be amazing. But that fight, all this, you know, it looks initially good for LBJ. They just couldn't keep fighting. He's hit for the W. And this Vayne already has to go back, get some health. They might just double in him. They might be scared of the end. I know a certain team tried to end earlier today and lost it all in the end play.
Speaking from experience.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But they're going to triple inhib them. There's going to be some tower defense for the side of LBJ. And that Baron is just... It's just waiting for Calm to come take it.
Yeah, I feel like with the Baron and the triple inhib already secured, there's not enough counter siege, not enough wave clear on the side of LeBron James lovers to really deal with it. Like, none of their champs are efficient at wave clearing by any means. When your best wave clearer is Arch Tempered on the Aatrox, that's an issue.
You know, I'll give best wave clearer to Tibbers. Tibbers can clear some waves, okay? Put respect on Tibbers' name.
My fault, Tippers. On me. On me. You deserve better.
That's what I thought. But I do agree with you. The wave clear on the side of LBJ is dire.
Yeah, it'll be rough with double supers in every lane, with them getting empowered, and are they really just not going to bother pushing? They're going to wait around for the Elder spawn?
Well, since they took Baron first into Elder, there's going to be around a minute window where they have both. And I don't know if LeBron James lovers can actually hold off as the Kane's going for a kill. The stun does land on the Tibbers.
Blazing Space Pub doesn't want to wait. Good. I mean, it's just a life-saving ult attempt from General Rubber Duck, but there's so much damage as here comes Rogshot. Cocken dies to Draven ult. I thought that was already thrown, but maybe I'm wrong. Rogshot's hooked back by Lyra, but they've already picked off 3. It's just the bot lane. Matchup doing what they can. That's just a sheer amount of damage, and Pyke gonna throw a Bone Skewer just for fun, but the last Nexus Tower will fall. And they'll get Rogshots for the road. Maybe that Mundo survived in Fountain for 4 or 5 seconds. But game 1 officially over to Conglomerates of Mewing.
That was a pretty interesting game. I do see some highlights for both teams. And if I were to give the MVP of that game, I think there's only one person to give it to. And it's that Kane. The Blazing Space Pup Hunter early got ahead, just denied, took General Rubber Ducky out of the game, and then just did not let go. It just went crazy.
Yep. 100% was there to cover every single gank attempt. Bot lane continued to expand on their lead, generated some kills, started stacking dragons, and once that Infernal Soul was grabbed, it was very difficult to come back on the side of LeBron James lovers. But, like, despite the rough ending to that game, it was relatively close. If they can contest more objectives early, I mean, the kills were close. The team fights were relatively even. It's just they had 0 gold that was gained over the map. I don't think they took a single tower that entire game.
Oh, man. I didn't look. I don't know.
I don't think they
had to have gotten a tower.
I know they didn't get top or mid tower. My bot tower on my minimap is covered by my webcam, so I couldn't see that. But I don't think they got it. If they did, that was the only tower that they got.
You know what? I'm with a baseless claim. They got that tower. Okay, and that might be more hope than truth. But I don't know. Now, while we wait for Game 2 to come up, do we want to look at Game 1's draft again? See maybe how LeBron James lovers can adapt?
Yeah, we can do that. Let me do this real quick, and then I will re-pull up the draft that we had earlier. Go here, and then bada bing, bada boom. We're back at the draft. So, changes that we're looking for. I mean, I like the way they piloted the draft overall. The Vayne looked good. Annie found a couple of picks. I do think the Pyke was where it fell short. Lyra, I liked the hooks. I liked the concepts. The Pyke just wasn't tanky enough for what she wanted to do. It was more... There wasn't a ton of like a more assassin style play. Like put a Nautilus in those hands and that gets dangerous very quickly.
I agree with you. I almost want to highlight more of the bans than the picks. In my mind, some of those picks are like, I feel like you gotta ban away that Vel'Koz. It might not seem like the Vel'Koz was the issue there, but there's just a certain level of comfort Hedo has in the Vel'Koz that he does not have with any other champion.
Yep. Agreed. And I hopefully that'll be a change that comes out here as you see the chaos going in the draft currently. I'll switch back over here. And look, I do think the Vel'Koz needs to be banned. Hedo looked solid. I think there weren't a ton of game-breaking plays from the Vel'Koz, but it was just such a nice complementary piece to follow up on damage that was already done, to secure a kill with the ult, to connect on the slows. The peeling was good enough. Getting them off of something that is comfort focus, I think, will be impactful for LeBron James lovers in this game. And they, as they have lost, they get to pick the side, and they're going ahead and opting for the blue side this time around. So that will also change maybe outlook of the draft, with Conglomerate of Mewing having counter pick, but Prio handed over to LeBron James lovers.
I'm curious where LBJ, because usually when you go to blue side, there's a prio pick that's in your mind. And I'm wondering what that prio pick is for them. It might be something bot lane, like an Ezreal or a Twitch. Or it might just, I don't know, maybe they pick away the Shen. It's just, I'm curious what this blue side first pick is going to be.
Yeah, I don't know what the prio is or what they felt comfortable with. I mean, it does feel like Rog Shots can succeed on any, like, general meat, just swallowing face tank. They have the Shen, they have the Mundo. I feel like it's a safe enough blind, especially because with that level of matchup, props to you, Rogshot, for ranking up in the middle of this tournament. Arch Tempered, I think, will always have the edge in that current matchup, unfortunately. And so I think there is just one archetype that Rogshots will have to settle into that'll be the best fit for them.
I definitely agree. And I think we're going to get into the draft here somewhat soon. Don't know exactly when. But with LeBron James lovers on the blue side, I think we're might see a Vel'Koz ban. Who knows? If I'm calm, I don't change a thing. That was a domination from beginning to middle to end. And if the draft went the exact same way, I'd be probably pretty happy with it.
Yep. I completely agree. And there's a lot of versatility over on that side, as we know with Blazing Space Flip, as the draft will get officially underway for Game 2. Curious to see what changes. The Yi will still be banned for LeBron James lovers.
I think Yi Shen are just going to be staples. I think they're going to get banned this game, and hopefully a Game 3 as well. We always love to see 3 games.
Yeah, no, this is, as things play out, it's a must-win for the LeBron James lovers to keep their tournament hopes alive, remain in the playoffs, and force a Game 3. Conglomerates and Mewing don't want to tempt fate and see a game number 3, but LeBron James lovers obviously other plans in mind. They want to succeed in this draft and into the game. The Nocturne band coming out here for Conglomerates and Mewing, and there is the Shen, as you mentioned, probably going to be a staple in these drafts.
Yes. I would be shocked if we don't see Vex, Darius come out on the side of Calm. Those 3 bands, when draft goes so well on those first, it's hard to change it up even when you change sides. We'll have to see. I would not want to give Hawken the Vex. But they banned the Skarner, which does mean potentially we might see a Darius or a Vex. But LeBron James lovers bans stay the same.
Yep, same 3 coming out. Skarner ban does, I mean, it's just an annoying champ, right? There's the Darius, so Vex available for Hawken here. It's an instant Galio pick, though.
Even though the Vex is there, it's clearly Calm has a counter pick they want into it, and especially say you had a tough game 1, there's nothing nicer than just picking a tank, playing Galio. you will always be useful. The knock up, the
Yep.
CC, and especially some sneaky damage as well. We always love to see a Galio. And this is no surprise. What just got picked? It didn't get banned, even though I think it should have. There's a Vel'Koz.
Yeah, Vilcos left up. We both talked about just the consistency in play that we saw out of Hedo. But obviously, LeBron James numbers have something they like. They didn't change their bans at all. They were content to see the Vel'Koz once more. And we'll see what changes are made. Maybe this is a Galio that gets flexed down to support. I don't know if Lyra has that in her bag, but it would be pretty solid into the Vel'Koz. A Cowley picked for what they're presuming is a counter pick mid, although I guess it could also be flex top.
If Rog Shots plays a Collie, I will bet everything, all of my channel points on LBJ.
Let me get a.
I do not want to see the Rog Shots a Collie.
Let me get this prediction going right now, as well.
I said after the draft, but it doesn't matter that much. The Nautilus, I believe that's one of Lyra's most played, so we do like to see it. Alt super useful. And I actually think the Galio versus Akali matchup is kind of interesting. They both are kind of happy. Galio, there's the Twitch. Twitch main matchup is coming out. We banned Twitch and every time we're playing them. And let's see, will Calm regret the Twitch being picked?
Yeah.
No, actually,
I
almost wish that Nautilus was like a Lulu. Or something that could maybe empower the Twitch. Because Twitch Nautilus are very fundamentally different in lane.
I think you can make it work, though. Like, the Twitch Lulu makes sense. That's a classic combo, right? But the Nautilus gives you the range and the takiness that we were missing from Lyra in that first game, right? The ability to throw a hook and not worry about instantly dying. And a lot of the Vel'Koz peel instantly gets negated here. That might still be effective. Against a Twitch that appears out of vision, if the Vel'Koz is able to connect on an E, the knockback would be instrumental in both of these two trading blows on their top champions here with the Yone and the Kane ban and Camille ban for the top side as well.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I think the Yone, you gotta ban it. That's a scary pick. But so far, I'm draft's pretty even. I think LeBron James Lovers has a more cohesive comp. But I do like the actual bot lane of Calm more. And Mundo ban, not letting Rock Shots play that. I do not know what's in the rest of his arsenal.
Agreed.
But this is definitely, you're going to see a jungle pick. If I were forced to have a guess, unless, I still think it's worth giving counter pick. You might see something pretty tanky, like a Zac or a domination pick. I'm not playing Skarner no more. I want to play Viego. I want to pop off.
And that's what we want to see out of conglomerate of Mewers. I mean, you have Blazing Space Pup. The Hunter has the ability to take over any game that he is involved in, and so answer is Sejuani. General Rubber Duck tends to skew towards these tank-oriented junglers, and Sejuani is a good one with the Skarner removed.
Yeah, I'm trolling.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about it too, with like the Galio instantly locked mid. You're always going to have value, right? They have two low-income tanks that don't need a ton of gold in order to succeed. They'll always have CC. They'll always have some value. They'll have inherent takiness on level up. I don't hate it, and the Gwen would be a massive step up in terms of damage officially in this comp that Arch Tempered will be piloting.
And I like the Gwen pick. LeBron James Lover side was definitely missing some damage. And Gwen Sejuani can be a pretty fearsome duo because that's a lot of stuns that you can get off very fast. And I'm curious, what is Rogshot's answer into a Gwen? He usually plays tanky champions. And it's Trundle time.
Oh, man.
It's Trundle time.
Trundle into Gwen. I mean, obviously he's confident with the pick, but I feel like, Trundle thrives if it's into like another tank, and that's just not the case here. But maybe the idea is just to, let him loose on a side lane and just let him go ham, do his thing.
I mean, I think while it might be a little bit of a tougher lane, I think he's thinking more team oriented. Of Sejuani is so tanky, but Trundle just takes that away. In the jungle, Trundle's a classic counter pick champ into Sejuani, and it can do a lot of the same stuff while top lane.
Yeah, that's true. I guess you just rotate for any fight, and while you may not be winning into the Gwen, you still get to ult the Sejuani in team fights and just auto steal all the resistances, become unkillable yourself, and Sejuani instantly gets popped on the reverse side of the coin.
Important notice, you have 20 seconds left to gamble. Who is taking game 2? Can LeBron James lovers force a game 3? Or is it going to be calm sweep? And I guess I have to ask you, what are you thinking? We go into game 3? Or is it going to be another calm win?
I think LeBron James lovers have the early game strength here to help them not fall into the same hole they had before. They had the kills, they had the team fighting, they just didn't have the map presence to focus on objectives and or towers. I think they have that here with the early Nautilus, Sejuani, Galileo. It'll be really hard to contest anything before these carries on the side of Conglomerates of Mewing have some items in them. If they can get off to a good start, I think we'll be seeing a game 3. My concern is on the flip side, you accidentally draw out this game longer than it should go. You end up in a late team fight. Blazing Space Pup connects on 1 kill, connects on a second, and then it's just a snowball that gets out of control for this Viego, because once he gets 1 reset, it feels like the rest are almost all but guaranteed.
That's reset champs, right? But there is a silver lining. If Viego gets ahead, he kills, for example, Twitch. That Viego becomes really squishy all of a sudden. And it can get dangerous.
True. If there's a key player that you're looking for, I mean, obviously, we've pointed to Arch-Tempered and Blazing Space Pup a couple of times. They're their respective carries. You highlighted the importance of the bot matchup because they're the second highest ranked players on for each team. I'm really, personally, yes, I'm a support main, but I'm looking for at Lyra right now. You saw the ideas on the Pike just were not tanky enough to deal with the damage that was coming out. I think you can deal with that on the Nautilus, and if there's a world where you can set up matchup to come away with a lead on this Twitch is going to terrorize the rest of the game.
And I don't know how I didn't realize this till now. They made 2 changes between game 1 and game 2. LeBron James lovers is whole again. That is not Kakin and Lyra. That is Bandit and Aerokun. LeBron James lovers is back.
Oh, we're back? There's no more subs? They just
back.
need subs for the first game?
So, that's gotta be a good sign. They're back. And just that team synergy, that team hypeness.
No wonder we didn't see the Vex locked in for the Instapick when it wasn't banned.
Yeah, because why would you ban Vex?
Yeah.
And now I know it's Bandit. Bandit's Galio is one of his signature picks. Super tanky, super safe. And I feel like it's, like, even potentially... I guess it makes sense why they banned Skarner then, because Skarner's annoying. And are we hopping in to game number 2?
I believe we are underway. The delay has officially finished. I'm waiting for it to load, but I will port everything over, I'll get you guys looking at the right screen here. Again, prefacing the importance here, LeBron James lovers a loss, and they are done and dusted. That is all she wrote for SLOLCS 2025. But they don't want that to be the end of their story. This should be game 2. I'll update the overlay with that. But this is a must-win game. I mean, you drop this and you're in not fun territory heading into the post-aftermath. It's something that you're unfortunately dealing with right now, David, of, having hope for a title run and things ending sooner than they probably should have.
And ouch, first off. Ouch.
I say it from a place of love. It happens, man. I've been there, unfortunately.
I just think we had such a fun time, and I'm happy we at least put out a good fight. And it looks like a standard 5-point. The Nautilus team choosing not to invade. And what is your time at?
43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48.
Perfect. Okay. We're good.
Yeah, Overlay's going to say game 1 of 3. I should have just changed that, but it did not update, so I apologize. Just look to the massive 1 on the side of Conglomerates of Mewing. That's what you care about here more than anything. They have a game win. They're working towards a game victory here, and to start off here, level 1, just a standard 5-point. Maybe some posturing to get a deep ward in here with Bandit. Walking forward now, I'm going to see Blazing Space Pup and just drop the ward right behind him. Say, hey, deal with this, buddy. We are going to know where you're going to start. And General Rubber Duck does not show, so both junglers unknowingly pathing bot at the same time.
Well, this is very scary for Rog Shots. I think Gwen wins this level 1.
Oh, Ghost committed, though.
Ghost comes out? Lethal Tempo? And it's actually not that bad of a trade. If you were General Rubber Duck, you are ecstatic. This game is already gone way better than last game.
True. You have a camp pre 3 minutes. That is a massive change. You're 100% correct about that. No walking to your own red side just to meet the top side of Conglomerates of Mewing. Bandit getting traded out here, but uses his level up timers perfectly for a very solid trade onto Q Anime Girl. Ericun to matchup, having to be forced back. This Velka is poking them. That's something that hasn't changed from game number 1, but I'm curious to see if Ericun can connect here on a hook once they hit level 2, as you see the trading. Both junglers done it nearly the same time. It's going to be Blazing Space Pup on the Viego, about 2 or 3 seconds ahead of General Rubber Duck, but they will get to bot at basically identical times.
And I don't know why, I'm just getting that gut feeling, okay? That Rog Shots is dead before 5 minutes.
It does feel like it with the way these trades are going. Man, you might be right. He just continues to take poke every single time he steps up.
And poke, especially into Gwen, can be scary.
Wait, when did Bandit use his flash?
The world might never know. Directed Camera decided to say no.
He has just TP'd back to lane. I'm assuming QDMA Girl got the better of him on a trade and was forced to base, forced to TP back as Arch Temper continuing to bully Rog Shots. Oh, maybe all in here, finding it.
From a mile away.
Yeah.
From a mile. As the hook lands, Hedo in trouble, has the flash, but flashes before the E, and I think that is a dead Vel'Koz.
Blazing Space Pups here. Can they clean up? Stunna trying to chop down Ericun. Ericun flashing out. Matchup flashing on the Twitch, and General Rubber Duck may be too deep to do anything. Is the Nautilus going to connect with the Twitch? No, it missed bot side, so it ends up being a 2-for-1 in favor of Conglomerates of Mewing, but some early action here. Twitch with a kill. Blazing Space Pup with 2 in a position to carry yet again. And when does Hunter not? We saw it on the Kane. We saw it on the Viego. There's multiple games we can look at. He had a Yi game where he went like 14-1 or something. Oh? Bandit, aftershock proc, the Q doesn't connect all the damage on the Q Damage, and she'll get out with no CDs left, but Bandit's still winning these trades. I don't know what happened for him to lose his flash, but that's a mystery we'll never know. Mid-roam? Hedo? Doesn't connect on the Q. Doesn't connect on the E. Bandit gets out for free. Okay, go ahead.
We now calm, breathe. 4 kills in 4 minutes. Still, you know, a good amount of kills. But I actually think it was really smart from Blazing Space Pup. Because you either hook the Twitch, and maybe you get him, maybe you don't. But he ended up just choosing to hook the Sejuani and guaranteeing that kill instead.
Yeah.
So, is
Smart
that...
heads up play.
Next kill's huge. It's Feats of Warfare.
Oh my damage. Oh.
Blue team claims it.
Can match
Twitch
up.
is invisible. He's a little rat.
Oh, he's gonna get out. He's a little rat. Stunna has to blind the rocket when it's back off cooldown. Just gonna turn and grab the wave. The invisibility from matchup coming through. And they'll trade 1 for 0. Get a kill onto Hedo and not just get another kill on the Twitch, but also secure the Feats of Warfare.
And you're not gonna like what I have to say.
Uh-oh.
I think Wrong Shots is dead before 8:30.
Okay. Your first prediction was correct. See if this one also comes true. Early drag, very early drag.
This game, you gotta be happy with it. If you're the LeBron James lovers, this early game's just going better.
Yeah, Twitch, I mean, down 20 CS over Corki, and as a result, still down in gold, but you do have the kills in your favor. The psychological warfare that comes along with that, of the Twitch just popping out or running, as we just saw in Invisibility. Arch-Tempered still working on Rogshot's top lane. Has 2 minutes to get your prediction to come through, but maybe a roam coming out? No, from Girl decides to build back the other way. Maybe they were just checking on grubs. Is now Viego going to path that way, look to secure not just Dragon, but also the grubs.
Directed Camera's having some issues there. Doesn't know where it wants to go.
Oh, Gwen's moving down.
This is scary. Gwen is strong, has ult, has full HP. And I think he's going to get 2, and then just get out.
Yep. Who actually got that smite on that second one?
Oh, Blazing Space Puff did get it. He did get the second one.
And just ulted out over the wall. So that one was correct. Gwen has 1 minute and 15 seconds to go rog shots. The pace of these trades have slowed down on the side of Arch-Tempered. But that damage from Gwen is... it'll sneak up on you, so...
Oh no.
Does this count?
I am 2 for 2.
Does this count if it's a jungle gank? Wait, does he get out with the ghost? Blazing Space Buff's coming to help out. He's too fast with the ghost. He lives. You're not 2 for 2. Wrong.
Show him he's the GOAT.
Viego covering topside here onto the Gwen. 2 levels down, just gonna work on clearing the wave. Actually, we'll trade out a little bit here as Gwen has to respect that she is under tower. As some trading coming out here, matchup just has to do what they can. I feel like every wave ends up under the tower, which it really shouldn't be if Ericun just looks for a hook, but seemingly afraid to throw it.
It's actually kind of funny, I think. Both bot lanes want the wave to be under the blue tower.
Yeah.
It allows Nautilus to be able to hit that hook and chase them down, but it also allows for the harass of Vel'Koz Corki to come out. Especially now that Corki hit 6, that harass is just going to get harder and harder.
Yeah, I think under the blue tower, you're correct about that for giving Nautilus room to engage, but don't put it all the way under. Put it basically where that wall comes out. So try to make an attempt to freeze it there instead of just letting it sink under, because matchup's having a very difficult time. CSing.
The taunt lands.
Bandit getting the taunt.
2v2.
Oh. Girl connecting a 2v2, and it's 2 tanks against a Viego Akali. Flash has to get burned here from General Rubber Duck. Hedo rotating over. Just going to try to get some exiting damage. A little bit too late to the party, but it is a massive win because of what Viego gets on the back end of it.
I mean, that's 3 camps for Viego that get denied, that Sejuani gets denied. But if you want to look at the plus side, that's 3 plates for Arch Tempered. And a bunch of CS that Rogshots lost.
Where'd he go? Did he walk down to, like, match that realm? Oh, matchup eating almost the entirety of the Vel'Koz. Maybe he has to get out again with a little sneaky twitch invisibility. And Senna says, I'm not dealing with you this time. I'm flashing directly on top of you and not letting you get out.
If matchup lived last time, that flash never comes out.
Yeah.
But that's some trauma. That's a PTSD flash.
Yeah, that is... I don't want to deal with you, Flash.
And let's see, Grubs are up in a minute, Draken up in 40, and I'm curious where they're going to go. With it being Cloud Soul and Ocean Soul, it's a 50-50 if you get a good soul or not for the game.
Matchup
As
on Stunna off the base, and Director Cam's more interested in mid. Let's go back bot. It's a flash forward, but Aerokun's too late. Can't really help out. Stunna was so I see the vision from matchup. Just didn't have the necessary damage. Is really just attack speed that this Twitch has currently with the Greaves and the Slingshot.
I think that's potentially a little bit of a desperation play, but that's 3 sums used by the LeBron James bot lane. And what ended up being, I guess, Directed Camera knew better than us. They knew nothing was going to come from it.
Yeah.
So, I guess, +1 to Directed Camera. But that is a Nashers completed by Arch Tempered. He is huge. They'll get the grubs and potentially be able to look for a play bot. But I think they're going to end up trading grubs for the Drake.
Yeah, I mean, Blazing Space Pup already on it. He's been content to stack drags every single game. There's only been 2, but this will be the 6th drag secured in a row as the depth charge comes out. Cute Anime Girl has to flash away from the hook from Aerokun. But still getting chased down. Sejuani ult committed. Galileo ult as well. Holy! That's 3 incredibly high-value ults that were just dropped to secure that kill. I don't know if there's anyone that wasn't necessary. It was definitely Bandits. But hey, a kill's a kill.
That's very true. And if you're rooting for Calm to win in this game, you need to be very happy that it rolled Infernal Soul again.
True.
That is a huge buff, especially to some of that poke. And it's honestly a little scary if you are rooting for the LeBron James lovers.
Yeah.
So, I'll be a little biased here, especially because I want to see a Game 3. Though seeing that as the all-in's going down, can
but
Viego change it?
Oh,
When is
man.
immune?
Arch Tempered might be able to walk out too. The Triumph, enough healing? No, the shutdown goes over to Blazing Space Pup. Wasn't there to save Rogshots, but was there to guarantee the kill. And Hunter continuing to expand this lead. Another kill garnered as matchup trying onto Stunna once more. Going to dash out, and Hedo's here to cover. Drops a Q, drops the ult. Both connect, and Stunna there to clean up. Twitch hit with the no U on the Uno reverse card is taunted under towers. Cute Anime Girl. Bandit doesn't have the damage, though. To kill her is now General Rubber Duck trying to fight Blazing Space Pup on his own grub. Has Aerokun behind him. Rogshot's coming to help out. Blazing Space Pup's up 2 levels. And this Sejuani might be forced to just continue to give more camps.
And if we look at the end of laning phase gold, because 14 minutes, that's some plates drop. That's a round end laning phase. There's almost a 2k gold gap in the jungle alone.
2k bot lane as well. I guess
Yeah,
1.5.
you're really looking at that Gwen being the hope. Up, 1.4k gold. Being pretty huge. And Gwen, I think more so than Aatrox, can 1v9 a game.
Oh, 100%. I mean, Gwen gets late enough with like 2 or 3 items. Nobody on this team can really build MR that well. Viego might opt into it, maybe a Maul or something. Trundle.
But what can...
Nobody else can. I mean, you get to a point where Akali, Corki, and Vel'Koz all get one-shot late game as cute anime girl using the ult to get out and away from that fight. Blazing Space Bub actually is here to maybe flip this.
I don't like this from Hedo. This looks like a death sentence.
Arch-Tempered surely just 1v2s here, right? Flash out from Hedo, just going to turn around and drop the ult. The true damage coming through, and Rogshot's now sprinting down the Gwen. Gwen's Conqueror has fallen off, and she's going to go all the way back under tower and base, but you do get the Vel'Koz flash. Stunna diving onto matchup. He's all alone, though, in a 1v2 with the enemy bot lane. Erikun interrupts the dash.
Huge.
They get the barrier, but Stunna will fall regardless. Bandit now dealing with cute anime girl on his back. Wish that was me. First tower claimed by Rogshots as well, and that means that the feats have gone over to Conglomerate of Mewing once more. Because that should be the objective one claimed and the tower one claimed. Even, I don't know if they got first 3. I don't think they did,
No.
but they did get the other 2.
No feats have gone yet, because they
Wait, what?
only have... First 3 went to LBJ, because Twitch got it.
Yeah, but don't
So-
they...
They
don't...
only got 2 of the 3 grubs. They're sitting at 2 objectives.
Oh, you're right. It was only 2 of the 3 grubs. It wasn't all 3. Oh, no.
So you're looking at, as General Rubber Duck might be in trouble, gets the blast cone.
Arch-Tempered?
Nothing's gonna come of it.
Oh.
Alt into Narnia, but that's okay. The objectives are 2-1 in favor of Calm, and this Herald could be the prize they're looking for.
Yeah, I mean,
Finally get them.
Blazing
those
Space
beats.
Pup's gonna start it. Mid and top T1s are both down tower-wise as Rogshot's committing to a full-on fight with Arch-Tempered. This should go in Arch-Tempered's favor, and the 4th snip coming out and just absolutely melting him. Hedo might be caught out here. Matchup trying to slow, trying to do something. Eats a lot of poke, but here's Erikun falling up, and now Twitch can engage. General Rubber Duck here to help out. That's a Twitch got. The Herald gathered on the opposite end, so it will be feats, but maybe a Drake traded back on the side of LeBron James lovers.
If you're LeBron James lovers, you take that. You got 2 kills, and hopefully you're able to trade the objectives. So
Yeah, hopefully he's important here. Blazing Space Pub, I think, thought about ulting over, but didn't want to commit into a 4v2.
if that Viego didn't have a shutdown, he's going for that every time. Can cute anime girl escape?
It's
It
a
looks like-
1v5. She's running into the enemy's jungle. But while this is happening, it's just a free Herald mid. They're going to take a tier 2. They're going to get another charge off on the tier 3 mid as well.
I mean, that's so much damage. And that's 2 towers for the Herald. That's a huge just gold swing. And honestly, a very good Herald, very good map awareness to get out of there. And yeah, they're out. And I'm looking at it. Luckily, that Drake by LeBron James lovers will extend this game because there won't be soul.
Yep.
But this gold lead has slowly creeped up higher and higher and higher.
Yeah, bot lane has gone from 1.5 to 2k, and the lead for Blazing Space Pub continuing to grow, but Hedo caught out once more, his 4th death on the side of Conglomerate of Mewing. And they're just going to try to commit here.
I don't think Nautilus had to flash for that, I'll be honest. I think that was a dead Vel'Koz. And if you were worried, we don't remember last game if LeBron James lovers got a tower. I remember this one. They got this tower. So we know for sure they at least got one this game.
I mean, they do have 4 grubs to work with. It should mean that they're able to get more towers, as this is a very split fight. They're just going to let General Rubber Duck die and then finally commit over, but now they're in the middle of an odd man fight. 3v4 as Gwen's going to commit onto the backline on Stunna. The Galio comes out to help out. Arch-Tempered flashing over, dashing back in to kill Stunna. Matchup running from Blazing Space Pup will go down, and Bandit dealing with a 1v2 as it's a 2v2 in the backline. Arch-Tempered finally falling down to the Trundle and Hedo on the Vel'Koz. Erokun running away. They do collect another kill onto Bandit. Now Erokun basically all but a formality that they will fall, and that fight heavily in favor of Conglomerate of Mewing.
5v1 is the ended result, and wow. I mean, I see the angle, but starting off that fight with General Rubber Ducky just getting caught out makes it hard. And you really see the benefits, or the consequences of that as the Otacon spawns on the map. Now, and I'm surprised it's Ruinous. I thought this for sure was going to be a voracious game.
Yeah, I mean, the kills up until that last fight were very low. It should have... I would have thought voracious as well, but we must be just on the threshold. There's 10 kills on either side. Will be enough to get this fight going, and again, the gold difference is not through sheer force and violence on the side of Conglomerate of Mewing. It's on map presence. There are so many towers taken, 6 total. Every single, nearly, Tier 1 and Tier 2. A bot Tier 3 taken. You can throw that in the mix, and that's been a large portion of this gold lead that has been gained, and that's before you talk about the CS numbers. I mean, Viego now up about 20 camps over the top of this Sejuani.
I mean, I'm looking at it. This game is still much more playable than the last one. I do have to say, so, you know, you don't have to worry about it as much if you're LeBron James lovers. Especially there's the added pressure of you're fighting for your life. But I don't know. I think they need to kill this Viego, is what it comes down to. And if LeBron James lovers is going to win a fight, it needs to be before Viego can get a reset. Because I feel like if one Viego reset, and the whole fight is won for Conglomerate of Mewing.
Blazing Space Pop's got to be sitting on a massive purchase. He's backing right now, has Hullbreaker, has Blade the Ruined King, walks out with, oh man, about another 2,100 gold spent, nearly at the, what should be a Triforce. And it becomes that much harder now with another drag spawning. It's going to be so point that Conglomerate of Mewing is playing for, but they want to contest this. Erokun hook goes wide. Blazing Space Pup engaging onto the Sejuani for free. TP committed, as is Galio ult. Galio ult goes wide, completely whiffs everybody, but they do at least now have numbers. Rockshots is top and doesn't have TP.
That's totally fine. I think this fight's going to go well, as matchup does get caught, and oh no, it's a horror. It's a horror for the LeBron James lovers. 5-0, and Trundle's going to be pushing. Is this game just over? If Akali teleports top, is the game just over?
Well, she's going to commit to it.
This is a Trundle who loves the split push.
They have 2 grubs to work with. The first people up are the bot lane. Twitch in 10 seconds, Erokun in 8. I don't think they can slow them down enough, especially now that Blazing Space Pup is joining the fight. Here come the bot lane. Matchup and Erokun for LeBron James lovers season. Can they slow him down? Twitch has the ult. Just trying to open fire. Rog shots and Blazing Space Pup were about to go down. They only get the Viego, but not in time. And that is officially the end of the game, which means Conglomerates of Mewing walk away in sweeping fashion over the top of LeBron James lovers.
And just a dominant performance from Conglomerate of Mewing. I mean, that's what it has to take to win in 23 minutes. You need your luck to go your way and just complete dominance. And that's what that was. And I hope at least LeBron James lovers had a great fun season. Because a lot of games, and SLOLCS at the end of the day is a fun tournament. And I'm excited to see Calm's next game.
Agreed. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I mean, Calm looked good. They looked dominant. They didn't have to win by way of violence, by way of winning, by any sort of, we're just going to continuously run at you and force every single fight. It was disciplined. It was calculated. I mean, we saw when Q Damage Girl was getting chased down 1v5 bot lane. It was Viego and the Corki just happy to drop the Herald and collect their towers, and it's more than enough, right? The gold you get from that play is nearly 1,000 from both towers, the couple of waves. Those small increments are what leads to the success that we saw in Conglomerates of Mewing looking dominant head into their semifinals matchup next weekend.
And there's not much more I can add to that. It was just domination. If my predictions are right, we're going to see in the semifinals Calm versus Chug, which I think would be a powerful match. The Properties of Egypt, that's no team to sleep on.
Well, that game's already been played. The results are not posted, but that game was played before this one.
Do you know who won?
I don't know. I don't know. I was not involved in either one of those calls. Can somebody in chat tell us who won? Between Property in Egypt and Chug? Because I know that one. I know it's already been played. The games just aren't in game results.
Wow. Looks like someone's captain is lacking.
Here they come. Teggy, we just had to remind you. Okay, Chug won the first one, which I'm assuming means they won the series if Teggy is the one posting. Chug won, says Connie. Thank you. Thank you, Cock and Ball.
We will see it. Calm versus Chug, two powerhouses meeting in the semifinals. Also, Teggy exposed, lacking. And who knows? Maybe, just maybe, Chug might play a series with all 5 of their members, which I don't know if they've played all year.
Yeah.
Also, LCS.
No, there's been lots of shifting around in terms of that team with subs, but hey, they've gotten the job done thus far. So that's 3 quarterfinal matchups played today. The last one I am involved with, and it won't be played until Tuesday or Wednesday. So sit tight. We're still figuring out scheduling there. But hey, the semifinals basically all ironed out. If you had to predict now between Chug and Conglomerate of Mewing, who takes it?
If I were to take out bias before going into this tournament,
Okay.
I thought the 2 strongest teams outside of ourselves were Chug and BBL.
Okay.
And I'm not going to change my prediction.
That's your finals?
I wanted to beat BBL, but we didn't. I think it's going to be a Chug BBL finale. So
Okay.
I'll take Chug winning semifinal.
Okay.
And I'll make it right now. I know this might seem tough, predicting against you. I think BBL beats either Witch Jamie or, that other team with that other player who we have no idea who that is.
Okay. I get it. No, I did give you some flack for getting eliminated on stream today. I will accept it willingly because I dished it out willingly. It should be a fun game between us and Witch Jamie. And Baron Brawling Lovers looked really good today against you guys. So will be interesting to see how the rest of the weekend plays out. But you'll have to wait until at least Thursday to begin hearing about the semifinal matchups that are scheduled. And I know Pangea Knowers versus Witch Jamie will happen on either Tuesday or Wednesday, but still working on scheduling there. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a multitude of streams today, but we want to cover as much action as possible. Thank you, Dave, for jumping in the booth with me. Always a pleasure, and I think you killed it. And, while the game, it was a sweep, I do think both those games were close.
I mean, I'd say there definitely some close early games, for sure. And, you did a great job as well. Always happy to hop on and cast some games. And I think that's it for us, huh?
Yeah, we got nothing else to do. So I will bid you guys adieu. Thank you all for watching, and go enjoy the rest of your Sunday evenings and get prepped for this next week. And We'll catch you hopefully Tuesday or Wednesday. Somebody can cover that match. I can't do it, obviously. I'm playing in it, but maybe Rhino can. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night and see ya.